Hey guys, how's it going? I think we're live, aren't we? Yes, we are live. Excellent. How are we all doing? How are we all doing? So, this live stream, I figured, same as always, I'd answer whatever questions you guys want to throw at me, but I'm also building a game, as we will soon see, based on burgers. Yes, burgers, because, well, okay, let me explain. I came up with the idea of this while I was eating a burger, and Jimmy loves burgers, so why not make a game about burgers? So, sorry, just a quick drink there. I've not long eaten. It's not good doing a live stream right after you've eaten, trust me. Illuminati is drunk. Excellent. That's it's always a good thing. So, let's see what we've got. So, I already did some work on kind of designing all of what I was going to do, and I've already started the implementation of it, which you can see right here. So the idea of what I'm going to do on in this live stream is to basically actually make something worthwhile or a little bit more interactive. So it's going to take me a couple of weeks, maybe 2 months or so, to actually build this all together, and then I'll give it away to free on Patreon for everyone who is a patron on there. So I think the idea, or rather the biggest hurdle to overcome, at least in this live stream, is the actual movement of our burger. So basically, we're going to have a little burger, we eat some more burgers and become a big burger and finish the level, whilst, avoiding stuff, whatever. So let's have a look in chat first, see how we are all doing. I'll have 2 number 9s, a number 9. Yeah, nice order. Nice order. I wonder how much the word burger will be said in this video. If someone wants to keep a count of how many times I say the word burger, please do. Then let me know at the end, I guess. But I'm going to consciously try and not say it now, so well done. Damn it. Never mind. Okay. Let me see. So, Rage Quitter, will you doing a series using Cinemachine in GTA series? Do you know what? I haven't actually fully decided yet, because there's a lot of new stuff coming from Unity here, there, and everywhere. So at the moment, I hadn't planned it, but it may grow to be something which becomes quite prominent within a lot of tutorial series. So I guess it's something I've got to keep an eye on. So I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes, I'm saying I'll see. I'll see what happens and where I get to with everything. So let me see here. Firstly, I'm going to need the playable burger. Let's see. We'll contain it within a cube, I think. You know me, I love cubes. They're so easy to deal with, and that is why I like them. So the starting position I think I'm going to have as here. And let's start writing this script. Sorry, I just cleared my throat. Like I said, I've not long eaten. No, it wasn't a burger that I ate, but, you know. So, burger movement. This may go down forever as the burger stream. It's not a name I want to stick with. Okay, so how am I going to put this script together? How am I going to put this together? So I've got to think about it. Because this is going to be a mobile game, we need a way of being able to touch the input. So I think we'll have some buttons on there. So they're going to be, a way of measuring what we're pressing, whether we're going up, down, left, right, whatever. So I think we're going to need quite a lot of variables. So we're going to need the X position, Y position, Z position. We'll need a temporary position as well, I think, for the X and Z coordinates. We'll need the player as a variable. We'll need 5 bools, I reckon. I think 5, because we'll need one for every direction and another one to say if we are actually moving. So that's, gosh, how many variables? 5, 10, 11. Okay. So we're going to need update, and not going to need start, so let's start with these variables. So you guys are keeping count on how many times I've said burger. So what is the definitive answer that we're on right now? How many times have I said it? So public float, and it's going to be x pos. Public float y pos. I don't think y is going to be too important. Public float z pos. So we'll keep y just in case. I guess we might have multi-story levels. Who knows? Because this one's only on one level right now, as we can see here. It's already laid out with the nice colours. And currently, just for reference, it looks like this. So this is the burger that we're going to collect. So we play a little burger, collect a burger, we grow bigger, collect another burger, grow even bigger, collect another burger, even bigger, and then we finish down here. Yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to be. Seriously, I think you guys are really... Okay, so what you need to do is someone needs to take responsibility for this count and go back how long we've been streaming, 10 minutes. Go back 10 minutes and then count and then come back here or something like that. What are we going to agree on? 13. Yeah, all agree on a number. Frosty says 14. You know this is a Unity live stream? You wouldn't believe it, would you? Public float will have x temp. And another one for z. Float z temp. Semicolon. What else did I say? Oh, the player, of course. That's going to be a game object. And the player, simple as, I guess. What else? Oh, the bools. So we'll need one for up. So public bool up motion. Should we have up motion? By default, make it false as well, because obviously when we start the game, there will be no motion at all. So it's going to be up and down, left and right. Oh, and the other one, of course, just in general. I just think I'll call this in motion. So basically what we're going to do is whenever we press one of the buttons that's going to be on screen to say are we going up, down, left, right, whatever, we'll activate one of these bools and then we can proceed with the movement, but we'll also activate this in motion one so we can't repeat the same motion over and over and over and over and break the game, because that's something we don't want to do. Although I will inevitably probably break the game. So I think I'm going to start with some methods just for the buttons. So I'll skip void update for now and go down and start with public void move up dir, short for direction, I think. So this will be our method for moving upwards. Now, so we've got the in motion one, so we're going to have that as an if statement. So if in motion is equal to false, so in its standard state it will be, we'll instantly need to set in motion equal to true naturally, because we're in motion. So next we'll need to set a destination point, and we'll do that in the z temp. So we're going to move one space at a time. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be z pos plus 1. So z temp equals z pos plus 1. I think I'm doing this right. I can't see any reason why this wouldn't occur. So at this point, we'll need to make the motion happen in void update. So up motion equals true. Semicolon. Okay, so I think that's all we're going to need there on each button, just to basically determine if we're doing anything, because you know that's just how it's going to be. So in void update, what we're going to need to do, we're going to need to constantly monitor the position of the player. That's easy. So xpos is going to be equal to the player dot transform.position.x. That's just a nice, quick, easy way of determining where it is. So we can do that for y. Though I don't think y is going to be used, at least not in this first stage. And z. Okay, so now we have the coordinates. Oh, have you gone back to count how many times? I've purposely not said it so you've been able to count. Let's see. So if, in fact, let me go down space. If up motion equals true, which it will be at this point because we pressed the up button, we're then going to need to check if the Z position is going to be greater than or equal to the temporary position. And if it is, then we stop. If it isn't, we move, of course. So if Z pos is greater than or equal to Z temp, then we stop the entire motion. So that would mean up motion becomes false. And we'd have to directly set the position, because I know sometimes when we're going to use transform.translate on a vector 3 going forward. And the problem is sometimes with that, it can be a little bit, ends up a big massive float number, so it's not exactly equal, or, you know, not quite anyway. So we'll need to kind of set the actual position itself. It'll be seamless anyway. So the player dot transform dot position equals new vector 3. So obviously it's going to be x pos. We're doing this on Z, aren't we? Yeah. So y pos and then z temp. Of course, yes. So the temp is going to be the actual destination. So that makes it equal to where we should be. And at that point, we can put in motion equals false. So that means we can basically redo everything again. So we're going to need an else statement, because this is where we're going to need to translate the actual burger. The player dot transform dot translate. So it's going to be vector 3 dot forward, and we'll do it on delta time. So time dot delta time. So we do it all in game time. Now, as far as I can tell, if we have a button to activate this, we should be able to move up, no problem. So I'm going to save that script. Okay, so just so as I can see this working, I'm going to bring this player cube down to here. I'm going to rename it to the player game object, create empty, and this is going to be our controls. And let's add burger movement to controls. I just need to add in the player. So now we need to create that UI that allows us to incorporate this as a mobile game. And as we hopefully should know, we can go to UI and use a button. Buttons are always very handy because they're already preset to work on touchscreens, so no extra programming is needed. So this is going to be in the bottom left. So I'm going to zero out the position. And let's bring it up here to about there. And I do already have a texture that I'm going to use. I need to set it to a sprite, of course. And I'll attach it to the button. And I'm going to delete the text off there because I don't want it there. And I think the button is a little bit too wide, so let's shorten it to about there. And okay, let's see if this button works. So let's attach the controls to it. I've just realized we're doing up, aren't we? Not left. Let's rotate this then. So we're going to rotate on the, oops, not the Y, Z. So it's going to be -90, and it's still a bit too big. So I think I'll have 50 by 50. That seems more logical. Okay, controls, no function, burger movement, and it's going to be move up direction. Right, so play. Let's see this in action. Hopefully it works. There we go. So we have a nice movement going on. So I think the idea is we're probably going to need to attach a rigid body to it, because if we move too much, we want the player or burger that's in there to fall off. Speaking of burger, let's actually add it in, shall we? So we actually have some context of what we're doing. Controls. Note controls the player. Let's turn off the mesh renderer. And let's add in the object, which I believe is here. I found this on the asset store, which I thought was very handy. Very handy indeed. Inside the player. And is that center? That isn't center, so let's bring it center. Probably should bring it down to about there. And by default, I think we'll have it as 2 by 2 by 2. And let's press play. There we go. Okay, so let's see what happens when we attach a rigid body to the player. So it's going to be physics and a rigid body, because I'm hoping that it will actually fall off the edge when we get over the edge. So if you could imagine, this arrow here is our touch button on our phones or iPads or Android tablets, whatever. So you would just need to touch it and you would have movement, nice and simple. So now this burger should fall off. Oh, and there we go, game over. So that is what I'm going for here. And I know it's kind of crazy to deal with the burger, but like I said, it's just the idea I got. And obviously when I give it out free to everyone on Patreon, then you guys are free to do with it whatever you would like. You can change it from a food substance to a star or whatever. Okay, so now we have that in order. Let's use this code, and I think I am going to change it. In fact, no, I'm going to leave it as it is, because I was going to speed it up here, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's see what happens actually if we multiply it by 2. See how quickly it moves. So I'm not sure of the speed that I want to go for. Yeah, we'll go with 2 actually. I like the movement of that. Wouldn't it be better to not have a rigid body, but have a raycast that shoots down to check if it's on a block? Honestly, no. Because all I would need to do at this point is, beneath all of this here, I would have a trigger. Basically, if this collides with the trigger underneath, that's it, restart. Rather than code a whole raycast to check, because sometimes raycasts can be a little bit temperamental, whereas a trigger is guaranteed. That's what I'm going for anyway. So let's carry on writing this script to allow us to actually have something to move with, because we want up, down, left, right all together, don't we? Not just up. So I'm going to do down next, I think. I'm going to copy this method, change it to move down direction. So in motion, it's going to be, so if it's false, yep, then we make it true. Because we're still on Z, this is going to be minus, because we're coming backwards, aren't we? So now this means that down motion is equal to true. So we can take this if statement and duplicate this. I'm going to put some annotations on here actually. So up movement, and this one is going to be down movement. Gosh, let me think. So this is going to be Z pause is less than Z temp. Yep. Then down motion is equal to false. The player transform position is, yep, so that line can stay as it is. The player transform translate vector 3 4. So because this is going forward now, or rather backwards I should say, we have to invert it. So this would be -2. So it turns it into a negative. So rather than go forward, it would go negative and come backwards. So I'm going to save that script now, and then I'm going to check this out. So is it? No, it's thinking about it. It's fine. So this button, let's get it into a better position. I'm thinking about increasing the size probably to 75 by 75 and have it maybe about there. Pressed color, what should I have it as? I think I might have it as black just to see what it comes out like. Rename this to up button, duplicate it, and down button. So that's going to be rotated by 90. So that comes nicely to about there. Yeah, about there, I think. It's not snapping, but it'll do. Okay, so that means I have to change this control to down. Right, before I go any further, let me have a quick look at chat because I feel I've been neglecting it a little bit. So, also, if anyone wondering, the count for the word burger is 24. Actually, that's wrong. And it's wrong because I've just said burger again, so it's actually 26. Sorry. Okay. I would choose a darker red for the select color since the outline is black. Might be a sensible idea. Might be a sensible idea. Let me check how this looks. Okay, so something has gone wrong with my script. Let me change it to a darker red to start off with. Let's take the hex value to here. Change it. I've gone back on down, haven't I? I want up. There we go. Okay, so let's figure out what is wrong with the script up until this point. So for some reason, it is just instantly moving to where it needs to go. That's not what I want, is it? So let's see. That's because of that. That's my mistake. That should be down motion, not up motion. So, fingers crossed now. We should be able to move up and back down. And we can indeed. And by the looks of it, if we keep pressing it, we're not going to go too mad. So it will complete its movement before it changes any other direction. So let's see if it comes off. There we go. So the burger falls off there. I said it again there. Mushy. Yes, I know. I explained earlier in the stream that I got the idea for a little mobile game while I was eating a burger. Jimmy loves a burger, so I figured why not make a game with burgers. There's another 3 for the count. And let's see now. I guess we've got them working, so we should work on left and right. So let's take this class here. And this is going to be move left direction. So in motion is false. Yep, in motion becomes true. So this is now going to be X and X. And because we're moving left, we're going to go into a negative. So we want the temporary position to be -1. Yep, that's fine. So this now means that left motion becomes true. So we can take this if statement. So now change this annotation to say left movement. So then we've got left motion is equal to true, and this is going to be X pause and X temp because we're going on that axis now. And this is going to be left motion set as false. So this here means that we now have to change this to X temp to set it to the temporary position permanently. And this is going to be Z pause. Yep, that's fine. So now to go across the screen, we need to change forward to right, don't we? So save that section. Let's try this one out. I want to do this one at a time just because I don't want to mess this up. Let's take that one. and change this to left. Button. Looking good so far. It is looking good so far. So that's going to need to be rotated to 0. Let's move into position. About there. And that does not want to snap to that, does it? So that's snapped to there. This one doesn't want to, but that's fine. That is completely fine because I can do that there. That's good. So now let's check this to burger movement and left. So now we should be able to move left. And we can. So we can move up, down, and we can move left and fall off. Fantastic. So now all that's left to do is right. And that one's pretty simple, I guess. So let's do the final method here. Move right direction, in motion, x temp. That's going to be +1 because we're going to the right. And right motion becomes true, which means we can then create the if statement right here to say right movement, and then right motion becomes true, and then here it would be false. And let me see, yep, that's fine, that's fine. So this one becomes 2 rather than negative. Save, and that is the script for movement done. It's done, guys. I'll create the button in a second. Let me have a quick look at chat. Can you make a video on update checker I need for my game? To be honest, I don't really think it's about that, because if you publish into something like Google Play, it would automatically download the updates anyway, to be honest. It's bad that I prefer Unity Animator to animate gun reload animations. I know I must learn how to use Blender. It's hard to say, because ultimately, when done right, the animator in Unity can be very handy. It can be really good, but ultimately to create complex animations, a 3D modeling program would be your best way of doing it. Which program did you create these graphics? Okay, so the graphics here that you all see, this burger thing right here is taken from the asset store. So it's just a nice little free asset that I found. The skybox again is a skybox that I've used in quite a few other tutorials because I find it quite nice. The plate of the actual board itself, so the board, all these colors, they're something I've just created myself. And what else is there? What else have I used? I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, the arrows are commercially free textures. So just textures that you can source from anywhere for free. Please do a tutorial on cutscenes, as it would help me a lot. So cutscenes are... I have a little bit of beef with the way cutscenes are done, because there are so many different ways and people don't like certain ways of doing them for whatever reason. A good example is you can use multicams and it's all set via a script, which I prefer to do. But there are other ways of doing it, and I guess it's down to the person. If you take a look at something like the RPG series, I did like a small cutscene in that quite a while ago, but the GTA series, we're going to be doing a cutscene real soon, and that's all going to be done via scripting. It's going to be kind of cool. Oh, God. I would love a good cool drink. So, can you make a separate video with the start of the game? I mean, with the backgrounds and the burger rotation? No, because this isn't something I'm doing for YouTube, really. This is just something I'm piecing together for all my patrons. And I'm going to build it, off screen. I've just decided to do it here. And, just for something to do to talk to you guys. So, let's add in that right button. Right button. And let's get it into position. So we're going to need to rotate 180, move it to about here. That looks about right. Yep. Oh, I didn't attach the script to it, did I? Need to attach the script, Jimmy, otherwise it won't work. You'll move the wrong way. Move right direction. So all of these arrows now should work quite nicely. Oh, okay, so we do have... Wow, that's cool. I didn't anticipate that. So what have I done here? What have I done in right motion that makes it go a little bit crazy? Why has it done that? Let's see. Oh, of course, it's that right there. Because it needs to check if it's greater than, otherwise it'll go a bit crazy. Well, that was unexpected. That's physics right there. There we go. So this will go a little bit crazy, as we can see now. The reason it's going mad is because of this spinning right here, because I haven't implemented this as a trigger to collect yet. So that's something I'll probably look at some point, but that's the reason why it's gone a bit crazy now. I love craziness. Okay, so just to make sure all this works, let's try a couple of different things. So as always, imagine that this is where you're touching on the screen to make it work. Hey, and the burger falls in. So that's what I'm aiming for here. That's going to be the end. I'm hoping to have some kind of like wrap there that the burger would fall into. So let's get some UI going, shall we? So I'd like, at least for now, maybe each level you've got a limit of 30 seconds. So let's add that into the top left, I think. So text, I'll just have 30. Let's have it as white. And I do have a font I'd like to use. Let's bring that into there and probably set the size to 60. Obviously that's going to be too small for it. There we go. And top left, let's zero up that position. Oops, didn't want to change the width there. Bring it to probably here. That looks fine. And game object, UI, raw image. And I do have a little clock that I'd like to use as texture. So we'll have that there. We'll keep it as 100 by 100. Maybe that's a little bit big. Yeah, I think it is a little bit big. Let's change it to 75 by 75. And let's have it about there. So minus 575 and 245. Let's bring our text next to it. There we go. Shrink it a little. So I guess we've probably got to change that to about 55, maybe 50. See how that looks. Perfect. I'm quite happy with that. So our UI is coming along quite nicely, at least. We've got something going on there. So I guess what I'll do is let's set the positions for the collectible burgers. Raw image, that's going to be the clock. So clock img. Text is going to be time left. In fact, I think I might add the music that I've got in now. So make camera, create empty, move sound. So we'll add that to the script with this sliding noise. Play and awake, no. So I guess we've got to declare that as a variable up here. So public audio source move sound semicolon. What's going on in chat? I can see quite a bit has happened since I last looked. I do a video on rolling tires. I don't know how. You just basically rotate them, like kind of the same way that I've got going on with that burger here that rotates. You can just do that on the x-axis or z-axis. Oh yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, you can animate them as well. Perfect. Roy, I was playing Xbox today and only seen you were on. Don't worry, my times are all over the place for these live streams lately. The last one I did was like 3 o'clock. This one is 4 o'clock. Yeah, I'm not sure really what time I want to do them anymore, so I'll just kind of do them roughly around the same time, but yeah. So what we need to do is we need to play here. So it's going to be move sound dot play. So every time we press the button, we play a nice little move sound. Not entirely sure how this is going to come out because I haven't properly listened or edited or anything yet. So let's see. Controls. So we're going to need to add the move sound when it appears over there. And let's see how this sounds or doesn't sound. Okay, I'm going to change that sound. I'm going to increase the pitch. Let's have it as 2. And try again. See what we get. Yeah, that'll do. It's just simple. I may change it in the future, or rather for the final product, but we'll soon see. Let's have some audio on the level. So this little audio clip is something which is about 30 seconds long because, like I say, each level is you're only going to have a time limit of 30 seconds. That was what I planned. So let's add into the main camera, create empty, BGM, and audio sound onto there. And I do believe it is very loud, so I'm going to decrease this to 0.05. Just see how it sounds. Okay. Oh, okay. And then we'd have the end sound right there. So it's coming along. It's coming along. Like I said earlier, it's one of these that'll take me a good couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months to actually piece together fully, because it's something I'm quite happy to do, but it'll take time. So now let's determine where we want these collectibles to be. So I'm going to have one here. I'm going to have another one, maybe here. Yeah, about there. And I want to have something kind of shifting up and down here. So I may have, where should I have one? I might just pop one up here. So change that to number 3, that can be. So then this can be number 1. And then duplicate that one, bring it up to there. And that's going to be number 2. So now we have 3 possible collectibles. So let's bring the start point to about here and see what it looks like. More glitches. So that's going to be something I'll work on. That's fantastic. I like that. So that's just one. Like I say, we experienced this before when we moved down to this burger. It's because these aren't set as triggers yet, so they just kind of hit each other and go crazy. So next, what I'd like to do is some kind of demon crystals, and I found this crystal which is on the asset store, and I quite like it. I think it's a nice piece of art, and you know, burgers and crystals don't go together, but they just don't go together. So these crystals are evil crystals, and they're going to stop us getting in the way of where we want to be, blah, 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 blah. So 3D objects, and we'll have cube, and we'll have 0, 0, 0 to keep everything neat and tidy. And we'll start this crystal inside this cube, and we'll 0 the position, turn off the mesh renderer, not on the cube, the crystal, on the cube, turn it off. So now let's bring this crystal into position. So it's going to be, should I rotate it? I think I rotate it 180. That looks better. And let's bring it down to about there. So now it looks kind of center of that section there. And I'm going to bring it back and forth in the cube. So it's going to be big bad crystal enemy moving up and down to stop us getting anywhere. That is what I intend to do. So let's create an animation for it. Let's say we want it to take 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds to get up, maybe. So we'll have to add animation to our cube. But let's, why is this called 21? Oh, that's because it went funny. collect burger 2. Right, so let's add in the animation for the cube. In fact, I'll rename it first. Bad crystal. Animation, create, crystal, anim 01 I will have it as, because I may attach multiple animations depending on which level we're in, just so as I don't need to keep creating animations over and over and over and over and over. That would just get very boring. So press record and we'll set the default position here. So we're going to work this just on the Z position. So let's set the keyframe as 0 and 60 frames. So it's going to be 6, 12, 240. So by the 240th frame, I would like this crystal to be here. And all the way back. So by the 480th frame, I would like the crystal to be back in its starting position. So theoretically, if we press play now, we should see our crystal moving back and forth. Excellent. Yep, that looks okay. So if you could imagine that we're trying to get past this crystal, and we've got past it. We've got past it. And obviously if we hit it, we would end up colliding with it, we would end up dying. That is what I'm going for here. And clearly it's pushed us off, but that is what I'll do. So, right, let's have a quick look at chat. Creepy. You mean creepy like when Tom Cruise laughs? What part did you arrive at GTA tutorials? You mean where am I up to with GTA? Well, I've just recorded, or rather a couple of days ago I recorded tutorial number 7, I think. Maybe 6, I can't quite remember to be honest. But either way, it's come along nicely because I've planned a lot, you know, quite a lot coming up, and on Monday or Tuesday I have my FPS series ending, so that's, you know, that's gone now, so I've got more time doing other things because I won't be starting any more new series for a bit now. So I have 5 permanent ongoing series and I release videos 3 or 4 times a week, so we can expect to see an update to GTA series once every 10 days at the absolute most. It's likely going to be every week anyway. So let's see, what else do we have here? So we have the point of our burger moving this way to collect other burgers. Let's make this burger grow a little bit bigger at some point. That's going to be the intention anyway, but this is going to be the end point right here. Mushy, no, not the FPS series. I know it was quite popular, but the problem was when I started doing that series, it was in JavaScript, and I think by now it's too outdated. Yeah, I know we use C# and it does look, well, it will look pretty cool because the tutorial that's coming up, we use post-processing and just add a little bit of depth to it, and it looks kind of cool. But at this point, you'll be able to take that series and the game within it and just run with it and make so many cool games. So, let me see. Do you know what? I think I'll have to get the timer working. So, scripts, right click, create, C# script, and we'll have timer run. Right, let me think. How are we going to do this one? So, obviously, we're going to have one variable, so that's going to be the time. So public int seconds left, public int, no, game object it'll be, and that'll be the display. So time display semicolon. So when this starts, we're going to do via, so we're going to need a coroutine, of course. So we'll start with void update, open close bracket, open curly bracket. Sometimes autofill gets on my nerves a little. In here, Oh, hang on. Nope, we'll need namespace, won't we? Because we're dealing with UI, of course. Using Unity engine.ui semicolon, which means we can then have time display.get component text. So close bracket dot text equals double quote plus seconds left semicolon. By default, I'll make that equal to 30. Hi, sir. Please tell me how to script efficiently. Easy. Watch any one of my series. Absolutely any of them at all. I think maybe best if you have a look at either the Grand Theft Auto series or the How to Make a Game for Free series. You know, or at least the one that's 11 tutorials long at the moment, because that one's going to be a big one that we build up on and on and on. But literally every series I have teaches you how to code and how to do it nicely, so why not? Mushy, don't advertise someone else in here. Yes, I know we all know who you're on about, but I honestly, well, not just me, but quite a lot of people do kind of. He's not quite what he used to be, unfortunately, because he doesn't do tutorials in the way he used to anymore. I think that's let a lot of people down. But at the end of the day, we are what we are. It's better than Udemy. I hate Udemy. Do not like Udemy. I will never support Udemy. Okay, burger. Extra one there. Let's see. Let's have a enumerator. We'll have it deduct second, open close bracket, open curly bracket. So we'll go yield, return new, wait for seconds. 1, obviously. And we'll have seconds left minus equals 1 semicolon. So I think at this point we're going to have a bool public bool sub. In fact, I'll just have take away. Why not? By default, we'll have that as. In fact, well, it's false. I might change it. So that means that here, if take away equals false, so a close bracket, I'm going to say take away equals true, and then start coroutine, which is start coroutine deduct second, open close bracket, semicolon. So we come down here. Yeah. Okay, so that means that we take away 1 second, and after we've done that, we can set take away back to false. So take away equals false, semicolon, save. So I know this is gonna, or at least as it stands, when it gets to basically 0, it's going to count into negative, isn't it? But I don't think that's important right now, just as long as we get basic timer working. Let me attach the timer run onto controls. Time display is going to be time left. And let's press play. This should hopefully work. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Excellent. Floating. So that is the timer working. Quite happy with that. That's fine. So I've made some good progress here. So the next stages that I would be looking at to create within this game are things like collecting, increasing the size of the burger, moving on to new levels. So like I said, this whole thing is going to be something that when it's built, it's going to be free for everybody who is on Patreon. So they will get it for absolutely nothing. And it's just one of the benefits. So I think I've seen, I can't remember who said it, I've seen it in the chat somewhere today. Someone said crystals versus burgers, or burgers versus crystals. I might just call it that because that's hilarious. fact, let me backtrack in chat and see who actually said it. Who? Mushy. It was Mushy. Burgers versus crystal thingies. Yeah. Burgers versus crystal thingies. That's a good one. So as I don't forget it, I'm going to put some text in there. Burgers versus crystal thingies. Now that name will be forever embedded into this game. So maybe should I set up the death thing underneath? Maybe I should. Maybe. Let me have a quick look at how this looks now. Put Cryo, haven't I? Man, Jimmy, you can't spell. And the burger falls off. Falling burger. Fantastic. Where was that text? Jimmy, you need to learn to spell. Crystal has an S in it. It does indeed have an S in it. Mushy, yep. I shall see you later, my friend. Take care. Burgers versus crystal thingies. So, like I said, guys, if you could imagine this on a mobile device, this is generally how it works. I'm clicking these buttons, yes, but these buttons are clearly, and cleverly I should say, going to work on any touch screen. So you literally have the ability to touch these arrows, avoid the crystal thingies, and get to where you need to go. So I think what I might do before I finish this live stream is actually set these burgers, spinning burgers, as triggers, just so as they don't keep getting in the way. So let's click them, take it as trigger. Because I know it keeps throwing us off quite a bit, but so, well, yep, and the crystal does as well. But that crystal, do you know what? I'll set the crystal as a trigger as well, because ultimately, if we run into that crystal, that is what is gonna get us game over or end the level or whatever. So, let's see. So imagine if we were playing this game now. Let's say we're going this way. Yep. Oh gosh. Yep, that is... I've just realised. The collect burgers have some very special things inside them. We need to get rid of the colliders on the rotation part because they do not actually need to be there. Collect burger. It's just one of the clever little things and silly little things that happens within Unity. Seriously, I've just seen Roy's comment there. Have I misspelt it once again? Honest to God. Crystal. Oh. Yep. Thanks, Roy. I've spelt it. Do you know? Oh. Do you know what? I'm going to actually retype crystal. Good Lord. I don't know what's wrong with my spelling today. Dark Turtle Games, did the Minecraft series end? Yes, it did. The reason being is because I did that series a long time ago, and at the time, another YouTuber called Holistic 3D did a much better version of it, and I would recommend anyone that wants to learn some Minecraft type stuff, go to her channel, Holistic 3D. She's very good at what she does, and yeah, you're probably likely to learn a lot more from her when it comes to Minecraft than me. So, let's check this out again. So, we're playing this level. Oh, yeah. Wait for the crystal. And off we go. So, we've collected our first burger. So, we could imagine our burger's now grown bigger. Collected the second burger. Now, let's keep going. We would have collected the third burger. And there we go. End of the level. So I'm thinking as well, maybe I should change the size of the actual player because I think maybe it's a little bit too big to fit correctly. Let me see, where is our player? So if I take the hamburger out, change the player to be 0.9, 0.9, just so it's a little bit smaller so as it fits in here. Reattach, and let's just see how this plays out. Can't really tell much difference. seems to be okay. So yeah, that would be the second one. This would be the third. Done. So I think that's pretty much what I'm going for. So I'm going to save that project. And as I said multiple times, Patreon, get for free when it's done, of course. And then you're free to do with it whatever you want. So, Adrian, when are you going to make another video on the GTA game series? There is one due this, what are we on, Saturday? Wednesday, I think it's due. It's in early access on Wednesday, so it'll be live sometime, probably Thursday or Friday. I think that's going to be tutorial number 6, is it not? So yeah, that's coming in pretty soon, but they are going to be regular, so don't worry about that at all. They're going to be quite regular because there's a lot to get through with GTA, so I intend to have it as regular as I possibly can. So I think that's all there is. That's all I'm going to do for this live stream. If anyone has got any questions, anyone wants to know, speak up now or forever hold your peace, please. Like I say, with this, I'll probably give regular updates, but it'll only be on Patreon rather than the website, because this isn't something I'll be doing as a tutorial. It's just a little side project because Jimmy likes burgers, as I've said multiple times. So, guys, it's been a fun stream. It's been a bit of a different one. It's not been a lot of Unity talk, to be honest. There's been a lot of random stuff, so yeah. Mushy, back. Oh, if you didn't see it before, I'm actually calling the game what you said before, and I misspelled crystal again, like loads of times. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that here. I want to thank you all, every single one of you, for being here, watching. I hope you learned something, and don't forget, if you want to learn any more, hit that subscribe button, click the bell icon, and you can learn so much on my channel, because I have over 400 tutorials as it stands right now, so there's hours upon hours of content for you to learn. And yeah, I will see you around, guys. Thanks for sticking around.